Hi, and welcome to DNSP Map. When you load the map for the first time, a tour will appear. Don't worry, you can replay this tour at any time. It gives you some helpful information and reminds you how the program works. But that's what this video is here for today. You can replay the tour at any time by clicking on the Duck menu and clicking Replay Tour. But what is DNSP Map? Well, there are a lot of sources that can explain it better than me, so I'll link some down below. This is a tool that will allow you to plot a path for travel that avoids flock cameras and other surveillance technology. There are several reasons you might want to avoid surveillance technology. We've seen this technology be used to abuse, stalk, and harass people. That is unacceptable. So the main purpose of this map is the DeFlock feature. However, there are several other features and privacy tools within the platform. It's important to note that we are not collecting any data. Yes, there is some data about the site visits itself, but we are not taking any data through the application. Additionally, the data that is stored locally on your device. You can select to download, export, and import this information. However, we are not keeping it. That is why, at this time, there is not a way for community members to add data for others in the map. This is for security and privacy purposes. This may change in the future, but it's true for right now. Let's go ahead and look at the Duck menu before we get to the DeFlock route, just so you're familiar with what you're looking at. In the Duck menu, we have a couple different options. It'll default to dark mode. Trust me, you want it on dark mode. Then the offline map section will tell you how much data is stored. Right now we're using the online map, not offline. There are some popular cities here that you can download the map for, or you can manually download the view. The FAQ and troubleshooting steps are here if you need help. At the bottom, we have a shout out to Dive Point. Make sure you check them out. There is a couple of pieces of hobby information in here, so we're obligated to put in this notice. But like I said, we have a commitment to your privacy. We do not have any tracking cookies. We do not do data collection or storage, and we will absolutely never sell your data. That's gross. So now that you're familiar with it, let's take a look at the DeFlock route. I'm going to click here on DeFlock and put in 2 locations. You'll notice that the map automatically centers on Indianapolis, Indiana. That's because I want it to. If at any time you would like to change the location, you can type in any location you want in the search bar or use your current location. Let's just use these 2 cities as an example. Hardcore mode will automatically activate regular mode and hardcore. It'll automatically also enable avoid highways. Highways have a lot of cameras. Now, hardcore mode is going to avoid all cameras at all costs. The regular mode will find paths that significantly reduce the amount of cameras you see or that see you, but there still will be some that it claims are unavoidable. This is because major highway exits and popular cities have quite a large amount of surveillance cameras. However, it is possible to go to great lengths to ignore all cameras. This does take significant time in order to calculate. I do suggest that you enable the map layers that are necessary to do this first, or you could click all layers. However, if you don't have the layers automatically selected, the right one should appear when you hit Calculate Route. Let's go ahead and give it a try so I can show you how it works. It is now beginning the hardcore attempts. It's going to try to find the best path possible that avoids all cameras. If you didn't know, the 2 cities that I selected have a significant amount of flock cameras. Maybe not as much as New York City, Boston, and the like, but still good enough for this test. And here we are. This is the route. You'll notice some important points. There are orange markers and red markers. The red markers are cameras that are completely on the path and will capture you if you take that route. The orange markers are ones that are very close to your route. The route you see will be the one that's selected here on the left panel. You'll see here that we did find a camera-free route with hardcore mode turned on. So routes 1, 2, and 3 are reasonable paths that you might take that avoid cameras. If there are unavoidable cameras, they will be listed here. You can click on their location to see their exact location, and here are the coordinates. That way you know where the cameras are. The nearby cameras are also listed, so you can see where they are. However, this is only present with the regular mode. If we scroll down, we can find hardcore mode. You'll notice that the regular have a privacy score of 0. That's because there are surveillance cameras on your route. But this one has a surveillance score of 100, meaning it's completely camera-free. Now remember, hardcore mode is exactly what it sounds like, hardcore. If you'd like to compare routes at any time, you can click Save Route for comparison, and then compare them later with the analysis and tools. If I click on hardcore mode, it's going to take us through a very long and arduous path. Now, we are still in beta mode and calculating how hardcore mode works, so sometimes these tails show up. However, these are not completely unintentional. You may be avoiding an inner pass here. Hardcore mode should only be used in certain situations. If you'd like to share the route, you can click the share button. You can copy it to your clipboard, either a summary, the coordinates, or the link for the project. Or you can download the file for your favorite GPS, GPX, GeoJSON, and KML. These formats are widely recognized as map formats. There's also voice navigation. However, this is also in beta mode. And then the turn-by-turn directions are also below, so that we can see them. Somewhat like MapQuest style, I guess. If you're done with your route, you can either select a new one or click Clear and Start New Route. This will take you back to the map. If you want to search your current location, hit the Current Location button. You may need to enable location settings on your device. And there we go. It'll center you right on your location. For testing purposes, because I'm more familiar with Indianapolis, we're going to go back there for our location. You could search anytime for a single location by typing in the search box. Your recent searches are saved on your device, not here. Okay, we're back at the start. Now let's take a look at the filters and what these different things do. First, let's look at the map layers. We have some presets here of the different layers that you can activate if you don't want to manually turn them on and off. Recreation, we'll pull up the recreation filters of fun things to do. Maybe it's places to fly, or places to hang out, or places to meet. Infrastructure and RF radio are exactly what it sounds like. Urban Explorer is for finding new places that are quite interesting. The OSINT and Recon tool will help you do OSINT and intelligence gathering. Privacy mode is for those privacy conscious, and drone pre-flight is for those who are interested in flying drones. Now, the best thing to do at this point would be to enable all layers for illustration purposes. This does take a significant amount of time. However, it's going to go faster on my device because this information is cached in your browser for use. So it's faster the next time. If you get bored, you can play the tic-tac-toe game that's built in. All right, and here we have a lot of different data. I'm zoomed in quite far, so I'm going to zoom out and see if we can get more data points. Not all data points will be present. The loading indicator will tell you exactly what layers it's working on, to be transparent. The larger the space, the longer the load takes. Please be patient. Data points can be stacked on top of each other. That's what these numbers and bubbles are for. If you click on them, you can expand and zoom in. However, each zoom will reload the page. Now, the map does load faster if you don't select every single layer, which is why the presets might be the most helpful. You'll get a summary of the loaded data here on the right. I am zoomed in quite large into Indianapolis, so it makes sense that we don't see any airports. By selecting a preset, you can pare down the amount of layers you're looking at. Cool. With privacy mode selected, we see a lot less data on the map. This makes sense. We have different things to plot. Let's see what the analysis tools can give us. We have several different analysis tools for the map. It's best when using the analysis tools to make sure you at least have privacy mode available. You can click custom and add different information as well. The wiggle networks might be of use to you, or the cell towers, for example. So, you've plotted a route to avoid all flock cameras. What now? These analysis tools can help you find different pieces of information. The Privacy Pocket Finder is going to find those different pockets of privacy, and then you can click View on Map or get directions on how to get there very quickly to a place that doesn't have surveillance. Be careful. Some of these places, while they have a score that's very high, may not be 100%. For example, Monument Circle here doesn't have any specific cameras in this small location. However, it does here and here. So you would need to enter in this direction. Luckily, if you need to get directions, you can click Get Directions. There are some other helpful tools as well. I don't want to go through all of them right now, but you can take a look for yourself. One that might be helpful is Safe Meeting Points, so that you can meet with others. Once you have it pulled up, there's some information you'll need to provide. Drop down the drawer. What's the search radius you would like from the center of the map that it's currently at? Do you want a park, open area, or all? I'm going to increase the search to 2 kilometers and click Find Safe Spots. Here are all the different safe spots for meeting zones, public places to meet with little to no cameras. If you need directions, click on this arrow. If you'd like to export your data, you can do so here in the similar formats that we talked about before. Data management tools are also here. You can back up and restore your data. Now that you see all this data and all it can do, there's a lot of potential with DNSP Map. Whether it's just gathering intelligence, protecting your privacy, or simply finding cool places to hang out, there's a lot to be done. At any time, if you want to give feedback or you find bugs, that's completely normal. We're still in beta. Click on the troubleshooting and report a bug to dnsp@duck.com. There's a lot more to show you, but I don't want to give away all of the secrets. In fact, there are many Easter eggs hidden within. Maybe you'll find one, and if you do, share it with your friends. I hope to continuously improve the project. So take a look. Maybe next time you load the DNSP map, there will be new things to tell you about and new features. Thank you for at least checking it out. And I hope this helps you find a way to travel while maintaining your privacy. Bye-bye.